Hello and welcome to a special review from G1 Toys, where today marks our first toy review ever. We thought we would kick this off by reviewing another first occurrence in action figure history. That being said, it brings us to the Agent Venom from the Marvel Legends Infinite series made by Hasbro. This figure is a first-time Walgreens exclusive and is pretty hard to come by. Here at G1 Toys, we want to not only amaze you, but also educate you on the potential toys that you would be adding to your collection. So without further ado, let's get started with a quick origin on Agent Venom. Agent Venom first appears in The Amazing Spider-Man number 654 and was in fact the high school bully of Peter Parker in his early years. The smart-mouthed Flash Thompson and Peter were fierce rivals in almost every aspect of adolescence, including their love interest with schoolmate Liz Allen. Many years later, Flash and Peter made amends. Flash was stationed in the Iraq War, and after losing his legs and suffering memory loss, he enlisted in a government-run program called Project Rebirth 2.0. In that project, he was bonded with a symbiote, dubbing him Agent Venom. With his newly acquired suit, he regrew his legs and regained powers comparable to Spider-Man. Supporting Spidey, Agent Venom has experience in hand-to-hand combat, super strength, webbing capability, and can cling to most surfaces. He does have some limited camouflage tactics as well. If not on the same team as our friendly neighborhood web slinger, Agent Venom could pose a formidable threat with his immunity to spider sense. Excellent, we are back from an informative review of Agent Venom. And our next move is to take a look at his box up close and personal. So let's start at the top there. Marvel Spider-Man. Then for a little Easter egg, right at the top you got a sick Spider-Man emblem. At the bottom of that package you got Marvel Legends Infinite Series, Agent Venom. And then on the side, there's a chill picture of Spider-Man. And if we turn that box around, got a little excerpt there at the top we're going to read to you. The U.S. military bonded the alien symbiote Venom to wounded Army veteran Flash Thompson in an attempt to create a new super soldier, Agent Venom. And then there's just a sweet picture of Agent Venom in figure form on the back of that box. He is part of the Build-A-Figure series for the Green Goblin. There's the Green Goblin there. Unfortunately, he has no parts for the Green Goblin in his package. If you want to get those parts, you'll pick up these guys right here, and then you'll have yourself a Green Goblin. And there's our Hasbro logo. So I don't know about you, but I am very excited to get this guy opened up and check out all the cool accessories he comes with. So stay tuned. And we are back with Agent Venom Unboxed. And what it looks like he did is he brought a friend along. He brought Venom from the Marvel Select line of figures to do a little demonstration on height comparison here. So let's take a look and see where they stack up. We got Venom on the right at just under 8 inches, and then Agent Venom's on the left at about 6 to 6.5 inches once he's straightened out there. So there's your height comparison to the Marvel Select line. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a close look at Agent Venom, his sculpt, and his articulation points. Starting with his head, gotta love those creases in between his eyes. Makes him look mean and grimacing, and I love that. It's a great feature for his head sculpt. On the side you can see that his nose protrudes a little bit, and his ears protrude a little bit from the side there as well. The paint around his eyes looks pretty good, but on this side over here you see some bleed from the white down into the black there. So that was kind of a bummer, and I've noticed some reviewers complaining about that in some of their videos. Not a huge deal, but enough so that, you know, up close it looks kind of horrible. But from a distance you can't even tell. Let's go ahead and talk about his articulation. It does move left and right. This little collar right here impedes some of that movement. He does glance down pretty far, and upward he looks a little bit upward, not too far either. Let's move right down into his upper torso and take a look at these shoulder pads that are rubberized. Really cool because they allow for articulation up and down in his arm and 360 all the way around. His arm does come with a double jointed elbow, so you get a nice bend on that elbow. He has a forearm swivel, and he doesn't have anything in his hands actually. He's solid there and no up and down movement with his hands. So little lax. They cut some corners on those wrists. Wish they would have articulated those better. Let's look at his paint real quick here. If you look at it closely, you can see that there's some black coming through there in certain spots. It's really not much. In the shoulder pads you noticed it more, but really not too bad. On his back the paint looks better than his front actually, until you get down to the top over there, and then you see some garbage up there. But all in all, his paint doesn't look really bad at all, and from a distance you can't even tell what's going on. So not bad. I like that. Let's move down into his ab crunch. He does have an ab crunch forward, and you can move him back slightly as well with that ab crunch. What kind of inhibits that is this vest right here, which does come off. There's little tabs right there, and they poke into those two holes right there. You can take this vest completely off. It is kind of a pain, but it reveals his black body underneath. I prefer to leave this on. It just looks a little better while it's on him. So that's just my opinion. Just leave that sucker on. He does have a waist swivel as well. And when I first got this figure, I pulled him out of the package, and I was trying to get this vision out of my head. I couldn't believe what I saw. And as I pan up here, you'll see what I saw. Yeah, that's right. That's Marvel gratuitousness at its finest right there. See, I don't know why they did that, but I guess the good thing is you can move this belt and not have to stare at Agent Venom's junk all day long. So yeah, that's great. Belt's cool because it's movable. I'm going to give you a little quick view of this belt, show you what's on it. There's a simulated Venom junk right there. And looks pretty good. So let's look at his legs and what his articulation does there. He's got some upper leg swivel. You can move this out about that far. And he does move back a little bit, but mostly he moves forward with that leg as well. His knee has a nice double jointed joint on there, so you can get that nice deep bend. And he's got his feet that move up and down, and a wonderful, lovely ankle pivot. Gotta love that. One of the best features right there on his articulation. He does have a stripe here that's fairly straight on that leg, but on this leg it's not quite so uniform, so that's a little off. Just had a small gripe about that. But one of the major things I noticed on the side, he has a gun that looks like it could come out, but when you try to take that sucker out, it is molded in there to the sheath. So in my opinion, that is the cardinal sin of action figure making, to make a gun or any accessory that looks like it can come out, but it doesn't. So bummer there. Oh well, not a big deal. He does have some other cool accessories. Let's look at his feet. He did have some good detail on those boots, and he has the pegs, of course, to stand him up with. So all in all, I mean, amazing figure. And from a distance, you can't tell any of that stuff I was talking about. So let's get some accessories on this guy, and we'll see what he looks like with those. So now we are back with Agent Venom, all geared up and ready for action. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at his weapons individually. He's got a little machine gun there. Looks like maybe an MP5 machine gun. I do not like the way that fits in his hand. It's really loose, and it falls out very easily. I'm actually going to remove it for the rest of the review here. He does come with a pistol as well, a black pistol. That pistol has a little laser dot on the end of it. He does come with a regular pistol, actually two of these guys he comes with. And then his tendrils on the back that just pop right into his back. And they can actually, you can move them different directions, upside down, whatever way you want to put them. And they are removable as well. So when you're looking at these though, they're pretty much just molded how they are. You cannot bend these. They don't shape shift for you. They don't change to anything else besides what they look like here. So that's kind of a bummer. That's a small gripe I have with this part, but still cool. I'm glad they added this in. I wish they would have added 2 more guns to fill in those 2 extra spots down there at the end of the arms. So, you know, that's just something that they could have done a little better, but still looks really cool on Agent Venom. Okay, for those of you concerned with price, you can actually go on Walgreens.com. Right now he's out of stock, but usually $19.99 is what he's going for at Walgreens. You could visit the store and you might get lucky and find him there. But if not, you can hop on eBay and check their site out. Usually you can pick him up for right about 35 bucks on eBay currently. So go check out eBay, go check out Walgreens, get this figure as soon as reasonably possible. Here at G1 Toys, we want to give you a complete breakdown of the different areas of interest and overall grade for these figures. So let's get started. Let's start with his appearance. You know, Agent Venom is an amazing looking figure. I'm going to give him a straight 9 on appearance. The only reason I'm not giving him the 10 is because of that flaking I saw on the white in his paint. Otherwise, he looks amazing. He poses well. Really cool figure. Moving on with articulation, I feel there are 2 areas here that Agent Venom lacks in, and those areas are his tendrils, starting with number 1. They don't move. They are completely molded solid the way they are, so there's no posability with those, which is kind of a bummer. I didn't like that. There's one other thing I didn't appreciate, and that is his wrists not being able to swivel or move up and down. Still awesome, still can pose him well, but those 2 areas did drop his grade in articulation to about an 8 for me. For his scale, it's actually pretty good, but being a 6-inch figure, he could have had those other things and it would have been near perfect. So 8 on articulation. When we talk about durability with Agent Venom, I feel he's pretty solid. I don't really feel there's anything that would break other than maybe his shoulder pads over time of articulating those arms. They may start to crack and fall off eventually. Maybe the tendrils on the back as well. If you're always messing with those, always moving them around, they may break as well, but everything is pretty solid for the most part. So I'm going to give him a solid 8 on durability. Right on into collectability. You know, since this is a Walgreens exclusive figure, I think a lot of collectors are going to need to have this in their collection. I know I am. I'm one of them. So for collectability, I'm going to give him a straight 10 on collectability. That is a perfect 10 there. And for Agent Venom's overall score, he will get 8.75. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed G1 Toys' first toy review. Our site is under construction, so in the near future, look us up at g1toys.com for all the newest toy releases. And if you liked our reviews, subscribe for future reviews. Also check us out on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and never forget to channel your inner toy.